What's going on, guys? Bart here with Tully Television, and today we're going to be getting back into the Legion of X comic book series that lasted 10 issues. We covered issue 1. As you guys know here at the channel, I personally am a Nightcrawler fan. We've covered an old comic book series of his, Way of X, limited series. Now we're getting into Legion of X. Recently it stopped at issue 10 to continue the Sins of Sinister storyline. The same creative team that's doing this book is doing the Nightcrawler's book for that story. And then when that story ends, it's going to go into another title, which we will continue here to catch up and review and stuff like that. I just love, like I said, Nightcrawler and spotlighting him on this channel. It's okay if you don't like him or are not as big of a fan of his, but I hope that me covering some of his stories can make you have an appreciation for him that you may not have had before. Let me know if you have any favorite Nightcrawler moments yourself, where you like to see him go as a character or any of these other characters. And here, him and Legion have been really been buddy-buddy lately, trying to do what they're doing in this series. But before we get into that even, I want to thank all of you for stopping by, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that beautiful stuff. I hope that today is the day we earn you subscription. You hit that red subscribe bar down below. If you want to hit on that notification bell so you never miss an episode here at Tully Television. But let's get into it. Legion of X issue 2, entitled Let Us Pray. But instead of pray as in P-R-A-Y, it's pray as in P-R-E-Y. Oh, so that means there's a predator around? Cy Spurrier is the writer. Jan Bazadou is the artist. Federico Blee is the colorist. Will Sliney and Carlos Lopez are the cover artists for this particular cover. Here, we also met Mother Righteousness, her first appearance in Marvel Comics in the first issue here. And basically at the end of the first issue, she's trying to help people, and all she requires in return is them to have faith in her and to follow her. And at this point, Nightcrawler had denied her, but she's currently trying to get David Haller, Legion, to become someone who she's trying to accomplish him to be, so she can evolve him from the state he's at now to better protect the island of Krakoa and to better implement the rules that they're trying to put forward. David Haller, Legion, and Nightcrawler have formed this team to help create a society that all mutants can follow while on Krakoa, follow morals and ethics and codes of conduct that everyone can agree to. And that's what this title is about. And also just going around and trying to figure out, just trying to keep the peace between the mutants of Krakoa. With all those personalities, they're going to be bound to clash. And you're going to need some sort of policing force, people that can de-escalate situations, and that's what the Legion of X team is there to do. In a lot of recent X-Men books, they do these little pages of information relating to whatever the story's going on, to help better understand the thing of some of the concepts that they're trying to put together on Krakoa. There has been a lot of Iraqi deities trying to fill the vacuum of that society not having a major god to pray to or to follow. And so all these deities and demigods have been attacking Krakoa. The character known as Aura Sarata, which is basically the big eyeball character, sent weaponless Zen to Krakoa to chase down some horned god of mischief that seemed to make their way to Krakoa. Now, when we hear horned god of mischief, we're automatically going to think that Loki is somewhere in the midst. And Loki does have a history with the mutants, believe it or not. Loki's just the god of mischief, but we have yet to see Loki physically yet in this series. And also at the time of this series, they were also dealing with the death of Odin over at Asgard. So you have to wonder where the timeline falls in this. If it is Loki, and why is he doing what he's doing to the mutants then? We pick up our team going through some information, some at the bar discussing about possible, as they call it, skinjacker, which is recently there's been a lot of mutants feeling like they're being possessed, so to speak, or psychically controlled to do things. And so on top of trying to figure out where this horned god of mischief is at on Krakoa, they also now have to deal with, as they're calling it, a skinjacker. And we see Banshee here making an appearance. Around this time, he had gone through some stuff with Moira McTaggart because she recently was revealed to be a mutant, and her mutant power is that every time she dies, the timeline is reset. And she kind of went rogue and villainy. And part of her villainy was that she skinned Banshee alive to wear his face so she can enter Krakoa, because if you're not a mutant registered through one of the gateways, you're not going to be able to enter Krakoa. And so she wore his face, and then they were able to resurrect him after his death. But like I said, they continue to talk about the Skinjacker. We have Pixie Nightcrawler here talking to Paulie, trying to figure out what happened to his wife, and he's not being very talkative. Weaponless Zen also takes it upon herself to enter Beast's lab to figure out some information, and she comes across the fact that they have been being monitored. There's listening devices and stuff all around Krakoa, and she's trying to figure out where this is coming from. She thought she'd be able to find some information down in Beast's lab. Beast, however, had stopped her. They had had a nice little fight until the Nightcrawler officially came in and broke up the fight. We see here Banshee and Juggernaut there. We find out that Banshee was being controlled by the Skinwalker. And then when everyone finds that out, and they thought that Banshee was subdued, the Skinwalker then decides to take over Juggernaut there. But Pixie winds up using the Soul Dagger. Am I using that? Yeah, the Soul Dagger to nullify the Skinjacker's effect on Juggernaut, because once Juggernaut starts getting going, it's going to be really hard for him to stop. Lost was able to initially stop him with her gravitational powers, and then Pixie was able to disconnect the connection between Juggernaut and the Skinwalker with the Soul Dagger. But still trying to figure out a lot of these things, and this is how they've been getting in and out. This monkey paw type of thing basically is like a master key to everything. Any doorway, any gateway, magic, not magic, regular door, not regular door. It's able to get you from here to there. Because, like I said, it's basically a master key. So we also see that they're doing some sort of ritual. This is, again, magic-based or supernatural-based, godly type of stuff. And it's really going to be up to them to figure out what's going on. We see here near the end, Legion talking to Paulie to try to help ease his mind. We see everyone trying to get together to talk about the day and the case. Nightcrawler had asked Weaponless Zen here, what information can you give me? And she's like, well, maybe if you come to my residency later, I can, if you come to my she said to him, if you come to my residency later and give me a massage, I might be willing to slip out what I've learned just while being here so far. So that was her way of flirting with him to get him to come over. And they'll discuss what's been going on, but we'll start seeing a budding relationship between these two characters. She admires his dedication and his willingness to stick to what he believes in, much like her. So she sees Nightcrawler as a kindred spirit, so to speak, even though they have different views on how to handle things. She may be a little bit more aggressive. He might be a little bit more passive. But their convictions are the same. They will be willing to die for their convictions. So she definitely admires that in Kurt. And finally, at the end, where we wrap this up, is in the altar. So Banshee can kind of decompress a little bit with being possessed by the Skinjacker, the thing with Moira McTaggart. At one point years ago, he had died by the hand of Gabriel Summers, Vulcan. So he's been through a lot and just needs to decompress in the altar. That's why it was made. And again, the altar is a bubble reality that David had made, so people can go and decompress in whatever way they want. And we have Mother Righteousness here offering Banshee the same thing that she had offered Kurt and the same thing she had offered Legion, David Haller. They both denied her her help, her input, or what have you. They denied aligning themselves with her, and we're going to see. I don't think it's too much of a spoiler alert at this point, because the character plays a big part in Sins of Sinister and Nightcrawlers. But Banshee winds up becoming this character called Vox Ignis, and it's kind of a Ghost Rider thing, but instead of a spirit of vengeance, it's a spirit of a variance. And then when he does his sonic scream, while in this Vox Ignis persona, he can alter who you are as a person. And so basically his sonic scream got turned up to supermax with the spirit of variance bonded with him. But we'll see that progression as it goes. I do like Legion of X very much. We'll continue to follow their story into the Nightcrawler story and whatever we may come across after that. I thank you for stopping by. I hope that you've enjoyed this review. Let me know down below what X-Men books you've been collecting or any books that you've been collecting. I'm willing to check them out. But until next time, peace, Nookums.